Doo-doo. Okay, welcome back to another episode of Chiropractic is Sexy. I am Dr. Paula Ruffin.
Dr. Paula Ruffin in braids, and
In braids.
Dr. Erica Peabody, super glad to be here. And welcome to July, and also the second half of 2026. And how's the first half? That's what I want to know from everybody. Where are you? How's your first half of 2026?
Yes. Is it going well? Are you hitting your goals? Are you even keeping track of your goals?
Right.
We had a meeting this morning, a networking meeting we have every Thursday, and a lot of people had gone on vacation. And so it was like, well, we should just cancel the meeting. And then a few of us were like, I mean, if we're in town, we might as well, like, we're not on vacation. And so what does it matter? And there was over 20 of us that showed up to the meeting today. And we have 30 members. So, so it's like, when, there's appropriate times to take a vacation, but then just because everybody else is taking a vacation doesn't give you a reason to then go, well, I guess I don't need to do anything either.
Right. So, no, that's awesome. I usually take a week off at this point in the year just because just being a solo practitioner, I always have taken the 4th, a week there and the week between Christmas and New Year's. But now I have an associate, and although she's not totally working yet, we have a lot of momentum. And so inside of the business, I don't feel it's appropriate. Like you said, everyone else is on vacation, but that also gives people an opportunity to get in. So we are taking Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday morning off, but then we're working Wednesday afternoon, Thursday, Friday morning, and Saturday morning, because I'm like, this is the time to buckle down. Like, it's the beginning of the second half of the year, buckle down with our health, with our goals, all the things. So yeah, that's awesome. That's kind of what we're feeling this year too.
Yeah. And the more you do that at the appropriate times, the more that you have to do that when it's right for you. So just because everybody else is like taking their foot off the gas, listen, you've got momentum, you've got motion. So that is awesome. And you don't want to stop that. You don't want to stop that progress.
Well, the other thing is too, so I've only taken the 1 week in the middle one at the end of the year, but now bringing the associate on, I'm going to be able to have more bandwidth in general. And so it's going to be a whole lot more sustainable for me and my entire world to do that. So yeah, I'm excited.
Awesome. Yeah, well, good. Well, I think that is a really great segue into our topic today and talking about chiropractic being more than just a crack, because I know with all that you have going on, in order to make sure that you have the proper bandwidth, I know you're getting adjusted, because it's not about neck and back pain. Right. It's about regulating your nervous system so you can continue that process.
Right. There's, I don't know if you're noticing this, but it feels like, or it's my surroundings, there's a lot of death and grief going on right now. I don't know if you have that in your world. So it's either one, it's not my direct, but it's like my patients, and it's a lot of sudden deaths and illnesses, and another huge diagnosis for a patient of mine, and just a lot of things. And people are realizing that they want to get adjusted to move that energy of the loss, of the grief, of the new diagnosis, of the whatever, through their system, and have more bandwidth for it. They're not like, oh, someone died and my neck hurts. It's like, I'm dealing with overwhelming grief and I don't know how to get through this. It's being stored in my tissues. And one adjustment doesn't make it all right. It doesn't make the grief okay. But what it does is it gives it movement. So it's not like lodged inside. And I am loving when people come to me and realizing that we're doing such a bigger job than neck and back pain and headaches, and that they're really, really, really getting it. I love that.
And we've talked about this multiple times before, and how it's so important that when you're going through that, so whether it's grief, trauma, or whatever, and people in the moment, and it helps them to regulate and to be able to handle that, doesn't make the trauma necessarily go away, or it's not going to make the whatever it is it's going to make your ability to handle it easier.
Right.
But then this also goes back to into the Wayback Machine when we talk about our patients who are unable to heal properly and they come in and now suddenly they have neck pain, but then we have to then go back and talk to them about, hey, so talk to me about what happened 30 years ago, or, you know, what's, and a lot of times it takes us to be able to, we have to dig. We have to really dig because we forget. And I use the example of how many times have you looked down at your leg and you're like, where did that bruise come from? And how did I get it? And you know, why would you not remember that you have a bruise the size of a softball on your leg? Why would you not remember how that happened? So we end up suppressing so many things about our health and the traumas our bodies go through. And so it's really important for us as chiropractors to be able to pull that out and peel those layers back, because all of that affects you neurologically. So if you're going through something now, yeah, you're right. You're not like, oh, I'm grieving and I have neck pain. It's the ability to handle it. But then if you don't regulate properly, if you're not receiving chiropractic care, then that tension and stress will build up over time. The grief goes away. And now you are stuck with, oh my God, my neck hurts and I don't know why. So it really, we come at it from both angles.
Yeah. I am going to write this word out here because I can get in the comments today, but this word, maybe you can bring it up onto the screen, dis-ease. So this is a chiropractic term, and it basically means exactly that, like lack of ease. And so as we're talking about grief, or we're talking about, you know, all the things that we've been talking about over these last 2.5 years, however long we've been, we get into a state of dis-ease. And if we let that sit there long enough, the dis-ease, then we actually lead towards disease. And so the disease process is a chronic dis-ease, a chronic compensation, a chronic needing to figure out how to work with this. And so it gets, I mean, if we really want to look at it, and it's not really like bones misalign like this, it's more like they get torqued and locked into place because it's too much to process. So whether that be a slip, trip, fall, and all the things that you always say, I forget that phrase you use.
Anything. You almost had it. You just missed anything on that.
Okay. Slip, trip, fall, anything. But also the chemistry, like the chemistry changes. So you're taking ibuprofen every day. You're, you know, doing all that kind of stuff, but also emotional. I have this patient, she was in last night. She said, I have this rib thing showing up now, and I didn't even do anything. And I got onto Instagram stories. I actually deleted it, but I'm going to start talking this way on Instagram stories, that we need to normalize that you don't have to do something physically to be at a chiropractic office. So this particular patient, she owns a very successful speech therapy office, and she has many people underneath her now. And so she's like, my days are really easy. Like, I'm just managing humans who are managing other small humans, right? And so I'm like, let's look at this. And also she's got some pretty intense family drama going on on her husband's side of the family. And I'm like, this isn't like you bumped yourself on the side of your bed because you tripped and you threw a rib out. Like, that's not how this is going. It's your world is overwhelming. You have a lot of energy on you. You have a lot you're trying to do. You're also a wife. You're also a homeowner. You're also this. You're also that. It's a lot. And it gets stored and torqued. And so it's awesome that, you know, she knows she comes in weekly, which is awesome. Control, Alt, delete the system.
Well, and that goes right along with, like, I just woke up one day, right? I had a tragic sleeping accident, but we forget about lifing. And also I think it's really, it's up to us to remind people of those things, because I mean, I had somebody ask me the other day something about my stress level. And I said, I would put my stress average on a 6 out of 10. That might sound high. It might sound low to people. I'm probably underestimating it, really. But again, it's how you handle that stress and what you're doing to regulate around it. I mean, I'm a super optimistic human being. I love life. I'm really happy. And I think people get that mucked up with, oh, well, I'm happy. I love my life. But then they forget about the day-to-day things. I mean, I'm running a business. You're running a business. You have a new associate. I've got a daughter. I'm like, there's all kinds of things that come at us from a stress perspective. So it is so important that we recognize that, because even those little stressors on a day-to-day basis can build up.
Right.
And also, it's not always about what you do, it's what you're not doing. So even just sitting for too long, or having a poor mindset, or having negative energy, or not moving your body, not drinking water. So we also have this tendency to say, well, I didn't do anything. Well, what are you actually not doing that could be contributing to that?
Well, so, and my patients, they're traveling everywhere. So they're like, I didn't even do anything. Oh, wait, I sat in a car for 8 hours and I drove down to South, you know what I mean? Like, but it's like, I didn't even do anything. Right. But anybody sitting in the car for I'm just saying over 1 hour, you need to be tending to your spine. I mean, even up to an hour, it's like, you need to be tending to your spine. I have a pregnant woman. She's due, I think she's about 32 weeks right now. So about 2 months from her due date. I can't remember exactly, but today was her second visit. And she was, I loved this question. So she's running a huge company.
No stress there.
Yeah, this is baby number one. It's actually a really cool HVAC company, which sounds wild, but the culture that they've created inside this HVAC company is exponential. Awesome. People love working for them. And she runs the whole scene. She's also a collegiate athlete from back in the day. And I think she's mid to upper 30s, baby number one. So she came in because sciatic nerve pain and carrying this baby, but she said a lot of times I even forget I'm pregnant because I've got so much to do. And so we got her a lot of relief after even just one visit. So today was her second visit, and she was getting up off the table and she said to me, she said, I've got a question for you. She said, I'm driving to the UP this either tonight, I think it's tonight or tomorrow. I have 6 hours in the car. What can I do for myself during those 6 hours? I was like, I freaking love that question. I loved that question. That was probably one of the best questions of a second day patient, but it's one of the best questions of the entire month of June, even though we're in July now. Like, that was one of the greatest questions. I'm like, thank you for even asking. Thank you for your awareness being there, and for there's so much that we can be doing, and not just for the pain, for the spine, for the brain, for the nervous system. I loved it.
Sitting like that creates stagnancy. So it's stagnant blood flow, it's stagnant nerve flow, it's stagnant lymphatic flow. So a lot of people don't even realize your lymphatic system is like the garbage disposal of your body. So a lot of times people come home after traveling and they're like, oh yeah, I got sick from the plane. I got sick from the plane ride. Well, you may have gotten sick because you were on vacation. You completely adulterated yourself between food and alcohol. And then you sat around all week doing nothing, not pumping all of this garbage through your system. Then you got on a plane, and then you still had more garbage in your system, and you sat on a plane for 4 hours or in a car or whatever it is. You weren't moving the garbage through. Obviously, it's going to make you more susceptible to any kind of viruses that might be lingering in the air.
Well, I was also thinking, as you're saying that, I always say this is my least favorite part about aging is the inability to tolerate a bed that's other than my own. So you add all that to what Dr. Paula just said, plus I don't know anybody that sleeps somewhere else better than their own bed, right? So it's also going to be a little bit of lack of sleep, and it's the perfect storm. So I want to say, 4th of July, our Independence Day, I know you guys are watching from wherever you are. Our Independence Day is Saturday, which when the Independence Day falls on a Saturday, I mean, we're all going to go for a ride. Let's just be honest. Like, it's going to be extra partying, extra celebrating, extra whatever. I want you to all to take a little bit of action, and 3 things I would definitely recommend. 1, increase your water. just increase your water. No matter what else you do that. Second, take 5 minutes and do a little bit of like quiet time. I want to call it meditation, but I don't even necessarily need to call it that. And third, Dr. Paula will tell you this over and over and over. Bring good food for yourself. Don't just stop by and grab a bag of chips. If you don't want to actually eat those chips, bring something that's consumable for you. And also eat before you go anywhere so that you're getting good nourishment in, because literally 4th of July on a Saturday, we're just all asking for it. We really are. And I don't do a ton of drinking, but there's going to be a lot of people around, and there's so many different celebrations and whatnot. There's fireworks right in front of my home on Friday night, and that's just Friday. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And today's Thursday. It might as well be Friday. I mean, it all starts.
It does.
And I'm taking Monday off, and I think probably to recover from the weekend. But I say recover, but mostly because I'm going to take my foot off the gas this weekend.
Right.
From, as entrepreneurs, we have a tendency to we drive. Mm-hmm. I have family coming into town. We have fireworks and a party at my brother's house. I'm actually going mountain biking tomorrow for the first time. I committed for the first time this season. I committed to a podcast tomorrow. You guys, that all sounds like super fun stuff, but there's stress there. There's stress with just managing the scheduling of things and getting from one place to another, even though it's all fun stuff. Mm-hmm. So it just recognizing that's like it, so I don't need to try to cram anything other than fun in this weekend. I don't need to sit down and try to like work on my business. So I took Monday off so I can just be like, spend time with family all weekend. And then Monday I'll come back to scheduling my week and, getting back into business coordination things.
I didn't realize how quickly the 4th of July was rolling in, but probably 2 weeks ago, we could have come on here because we've been doing it consciously, is presetting. So we've been consciously doing that and like planning to be super, like clean up our diets, like do a bunch of stuff so that our resiliency is really high. And also getting adjusted. I've been adjusted twice this week. I meant to get adjusted. Dr. Roz isn't coming in this afternoon. I meant to get adjusted this morning too, but man, the practice got away from me this morning. But so we usually would take like a couple weeks before and start to really dial in our greens and dial in our water and dial in our movement. And, for me, I'm up at 6:30. It's like feet into sneakers, out the door I go or flip-flops, out the door I go with the dogs. And so, I'm going to have a little bit of extra time to not have to perform. And so I'm going to take a little extra walk with them because I know the afternoon might be a little bit more sitting or whatever. So just never, ever able to find actual balance, but looking to counterbalance or preset prior to what we're all doing. So it's really
interesting that you said that because I did my Sunday Night Live on that. So I did, it was your summer survival guide. I did on Sunday Night Live. I just tried to drop the link there. I think I did that okay.
Yeah.
And so, great. So go take a watch on that because it's the top 7 things that you should be focusing on. Exactly what Dr. Erica said, presetting, knowing, hey, we're going to have a pretty indulgent weekend. Mm-hmm. I'm going to preset. And let's be honest, when Dr. Erica and I say indulgent, we're not going completely off the rails. We're just doing a few more things that we might not be doing, maybe an extra cocktail or, I might eat that. They call it barf chicken dip. It's the shredded chicken with like Frank's hot sauce and cream cheese. And somebody always brings it. And I kind of die for that a little bit. So I'm like, I'm going to eat a little bit of garbage. I'm going to eat a little bit of garbage, but I'm presetting.
Okay. So, and I was just thinking about this because as we do gather, and maybe you have big functions going on this weekend, when you go up to that table and you have a paper plate or whatever plate, and you've got your silverware or whatever you're doing, I want you to take just one extra moment and say, what is going to add life to my body? So it might be, eat the barf chicken dip. That sounds actually weird name. Sounds amazing. I would love that. But maybe like skip the bun with the processed meat on it. Like don't also eat a hot dog. Like, like what maybe grab more greens or more off the veggie tray. Like fill your plate with that, or dip your veggies in the barf chicken rather than the inflammatory corn chip or potato chip or whatever. Like just take a extra 5 seconds and make a little bit of a better decision. Not that this has anything to do with the chiropractic adjustment, but it does have to do with building the resilience in the body and not totally smashing your entire system.
Yeah. And to springboard off of that, survey the table. Don't just walk up to one end of the table and then start. Survey the table. And then that way you can go, okay, I want that. I don't want this. I want, you can really make some really great decisions because you're like, oh, because the tendency when you don't survey the table is you start at one end and you start filling up on things because you don't think that there's going to be anything better down the way. And then you're like, oh, shoot, there's, something.
That's a great idea. Yeah. I love that.
Yeah. So always survey the table. So, and again, make sure you get adjusted this week. Make sure you get adjusted
3 more
next
hours
week.
this afternoon.
What's that?
They've got 3 hours to get in here this afternoon, 3 to 6.
Yes.
That's what you got.
Yes. 3 to 6. 3 to 6, you guys.
Yeah. Find your chiropractor before
call
the
our
end.
Offices. You guys should be lined up at our doors right now.
I know. I put up on my page this morning. I was like, I think I even said, warning, you have 1 day before, we'll be back next Wednesday afternoon. I'm not taking, usually I take a week, it includes both weekends. So that's like 10 days off. But this one we'll be back Wednesday afternoon. But warning, you've got 3 hours. Get your booty in here this afternoon. We got space for you. So lined up in front of our offices. Yeah,
they should be lined up coming in I always used to envision that I was going to impact my community so much so that they would be like zombies, like lined up like zombies walking towards our offices, I'm like, that's what chiropractic is about. Cause they're not, and it's zombies are not coming in for neck and back pain. They're coming in because they're zombies.
They're zombies. They haven't slept. They're like disastrous postures. They're not eating well. Yes, they need to get it. I think if they got adjusted, it probably would add a lot of life to their world.
I think so. We might bring color to the zombies.
Maybe. Yes, it is actually silly, Lily. I do work with walk-ins. So a lot of people are scheduled, but we do. The first come, first serve isn't totally it, because if you're on the schedule, you're going to go first. But then, we work with people that way. So no more zombies. The analogy is interesting. We should do a zombie apocalypse.
That'd be awesome. Should we do it maybe closer to Halloween? Yeah,
there was total side note, but there was at Michigan State, they were offering a zombie apocalypse class.
What?
And like being resource, like instead of home ec. Not that they were doing home ec, but like life skills, like not a bad idea.
How to beat a zombie?
Engineering that went into it. I can't remember what area of the curriculum it fell into, but it was called Zombie Apocalypse class.
I think if you're running from the zombie apocalypse, you definitely need a chiropractor, because if you're running, your body doesn't feel safe. It's like being chased by a tiger. Maybe I should change my analogy to say being chased by a zombie. Yes. But zombies don't move very fast. So
I don't think they can run. Seems like their legs are pretty stiff. I don't think they're going to be very fast.
Yeah, I think I could run from a zombie pretty good. But if you're being chased by a tiger, which again, all these little stressors that we came into this conversation with each and every day, your body does not know the difference. Your nervous system doesn't know the difference if you've got multiple things going on and you have to be in multiple places, or you're training employees and staff. It does, or you had a bad night's sleep. Right. That also can create that fight or flight, that feeling of being run from I should say the metabolic downstream effects of being chased by a tiger, because your nervous system, it doesn't know the difference. Right. And so when you come to us, we are actually affecting the other side of your nervous system, and I'm making that very, very rudimentary, because the nervous system is incredibly complex. So we're just talking about fight or flight, sympathetic nervous system, and then we are going to impact the the parasympathetic nervous system. So you're going from your heart rate is racing, your blood is pumping, your cholesterol is up, because that's a clotting factor for you. If you get swiped by the tiger, cholesterol is actually going to help you clot faster so you don't bleed out on the prairie. Your immune system, your body's going to prioritize immunity over, or I'm sorry, it's going to prioritize you saving your life over your immune system. If you had a cold, if you just ate a sandwich, your nervous system is going to prioritize saving your life over digesting the sandwich. And we talk about there's like 70 million Americans have digestive issues, and it's probably from the chronic stress. So when you get adjusted, we are tapping into the parasympathetic nervous system, which is rest, digest, and repair. And we just need so much more of that.
I was, so we had this new handout that Dr. Roz brought into the office, and it's sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system that you're talking about, but gas pedal is a sympathetic and brake pedal is the parasympathetic. And that if you feel like you are always on the gas pedal, definitely get to the chiropractor, but your health is going to be compromised just for the simple fact of being on the gas pedal. And so when we start to load put on our backpack and just load it with all of these stresses, the chemistry and all the things, like we've got to really work on that. And it's like, okay, do I relax and then go to the chiropractor, or do I relax because I've gone to the chiropractor, or are my parasympathetics activated because I've gotten to the chiropractor, or what other ways can I do that for myself outside of here? Which that's why I said, drink your water, take a little 5 minutes, and then also nourish yourself so your brain has the bandwidth too. So just a few things,
Yeah.
but the adjustments as people are walking out of the office, they walk back down a really long sidewalk, and they're very different people than when they walked into the building, like very different, even though they only had a couple of minutes with me, 3 to 5 minutes with me, another 3 to 5 with my staff, and they're changed for the day,
and
for the better.
Think about this after the adjustment, how many patients have you had in your 20 plus years of practice where you adjust them and before they even get off the table, they're like, they take a deep breath. They're like, which is,
Right.
That's a sign that we've tapped into the parasympathetic. And they take that deep breath and they go, oh my God, I feel better already. And their whole constitution just lets down. I mean, that is powerful, you guys. So powerful for us to be able to impact the world with that level of relaxation and calm. Because then they take that out into the world, and then they relate to other people with that same energy. So we need everybody here.
Yeah, it's a totally different way of even relating to the world. I was talking a little bit, should I smoke cannabis? I find that if I go to a chiropractor after a therapeutic massage, I get more out of it. So it goes both ways, right? So some people, so in my office, we get adjusted because that's deep, deep, deep in the core of the body. And then they get massage, which is like, let me get you adjusted and you go take yourself an hour-long timeout from your life and integrate this adjustment. So that's what I really love. But yes, it can also go the other direction. I just also don't like adjusting somebody who's covered in massage oil. It's like, and I don't like my table covered in massage oil. So yeah, they go both directions, first or second, but I do them. I actually prefer on separate days for me. Go get adjusted one day and then I'll get massage another. What are you doing over there?
For you personally or for your patients?
My patients do.
Yeah. So I don't have a preference. All I know is that I want them, if they're going to get a massage, they will get more out of their massage if they are also in conjunction getting chiropractic, preferably within a couple of days of each other, because it's like having this rubber band on my finger. You can already see my fingers turning red. And if I leave this on here for too long, it's going to start to hurt. So what do most people do? They get pain. They take Advil. They try to massage it a little bit. But guess what? That stress is still there. And so this is where the gold is for us as chiropractors, is people always want to work on this part of it. They want to work on the painful part. And yet they can't. We could do ultrasound up there. We could put red light therapy on there. Nothing's going to fix that until you go to the chiropractor, we get the stress off the nervous system. Now those nerves are now talking to those muscles saying, okay, you can chill out and relax now. That's how chiropractic works. It's the communication to the organs, the tissues, the muscles that you are trying to gain relief from by just doing this outside stuff. So let's get the relief going through the messaging. Then you can come in with your outside things.
Yeah. Yeah. Mimo. Yeah. I mean, we're storytellers all day long. We share story, and that is one of the best analogies. And also, I was just thinking, I'm thinking a lot about it because of how patients are. So they'll be like, I have right sciatic nerve pain. Well, that doesn't mean it's right-sided misalignment. It just means there's something going on. Let's search in the objective criteria. What is happening here? Sometimes it's right, sometimes it's left, sometimes it's in the neck for the lower, sometimes it's the lower for the neck. And we talk about, you step on a dog's tail, which Lewis is right here, Bubby. I would never step on your tail, but he barks out his mouth, right? And so like, where is this going on? And the stresses in the body they're everywhere. Let's just be honest. Like, I was talking with a patient yesterday, and it's like, you don't have to have any one thing. As I mentioned, it's like our world in and of itself. What are you watching? What are you streaming? What are you doing with your downtime? What's happening there? What are you filling your brain with? So, yeah.
And I know we all like good suspense shows, but be really mindful when you watch those, because what it does to your nervous system, like, don't watch it before bed. Don't watch it while you're eating, because you don't want that. Again, if you're watching something suspenseful, your nervous system is going to shunt blood from your digestion because it thinks it's just that perception. It's getting the unsafe message. Mm-hmm. So don't watch that stuff while you're eating. Watch it after or before, and then especially before you go to bed, because if you're being chased by a tiger, is your body going to lay down and go to sleep? No, it's not going to. It doesn't want to rest. It's going to keep you awake to save your life. So you have to start thinking about things in those terms. Is what am I doing to myself that my body doesn't feel safe enough to heal? And then you can start to make those decisions, becoming more aware, like you talked about your patient in the very beginning. What can I do while I'm traveling?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, there's so many things. It's great to sort of, Dr. Paula and I work really hard to get this message outside of our four walls. And so if you're listening and watching, I will just take a couple 5 seconds extra in some of the things that you're doing. 5 seconds extra to choose a show you're going to watch. 5 second extra of the podcast you choose to listen to. 5 seconds extra just to make a little bit more conscious and health giving choice for your future.
I mean, our show is always going to regulate you positively.
Yes.
And you know what else regulates your nervous system positively?
And sharing. And thumbs up.
Hitting the thumbs up button.
I had a patient in this morning, and she's a little bit on the older side. And, we've talked about this a lot, but so she said, I got up this morning. I was up at like 6 o'clock and it was already 78 degrees, but the thermostat said feels like 85. And so I skipped my walk. I'm like, that is the very first choice that you're going to make towards comfort. And that's the very first choice. I said, it didn't mean you need to go outside and go for your walk. Walk around your home for whatever. Go out for 10 minutes rather than 20 minutes. Give your body something to work with that's uncomfortable, because aging is the constant and continuous pursuit of comfort. And so the discomfort, a little bit of heat, a little bit of cold, a little bit of rain, whatever it is, give it an opportunity to work with it.
And how many people don't like to sweat? Oh, I don't like to sweat. Get out in that heat.
Yeah.
Get out in the heat. It's detoxifying. It's okay if you sweat. Your body's supposed to do that. The more you can you can regulate those things, the more your body's going to respond to you.
Yeah.
So go out. Don't be afraid to sweat. It's okay. I'm sure you'll come into your freezing cold air conditioning when it's done.
Right.
But go out, take that extra walk, allow your body to sweat and flush. I bet you she would have felt so much better if she would have gone and just taken a 10-minute walk in the heat and sweated like that.
For sure. And I said, do you have stairs at your house? You could have done 10 stairs, 10 times up and down your stairs. I would have been happier. And I by the time I was done chatting with her, I did really feel like I actually said out loud, I'm like, I'm not at all making you wrong, but I want to increase your awareness around your choices. And the continuous pursuit of comfort is going to get you into a place where you're not going to be able to move very well. And I'm trying to think how old this particular, I can look it up really quick because I'm kind of curious how old she is anyway. But yeah, I was like, don't just do something different. Just, go out and know that. And, she goes to Florida and let's see, she's 69 years old. So, I'm like, I get being a snowbird. Like, I totally get that. I'm starting to understand it more and more as the time goes by because it's easier to get outside. People go and live in more community style living down in the South for the winter. There's a lot of people moving around in their communities. And so she's like, yeah, I have this neighbor down there and we're just walking buddies. Like we do everything together like that. I'm like, we need that. We need that. Even if she's walking down there, you get out and walk up here and you tell her that, look, I did it today. I hope you did too.
Yeah. Make those choices. Yeah. And like you said, make sure that it's just stop seeking the comfort.
Yeah.
Like I get it. Like there's times when like you're like, oh, this is going to make me, I know how it'll affect me, or I know I have asthma. A lot of people who have asthma can't go out in this heat. But if you're just like, oh, I don't want to sweat, get out. I think the majority of people can get out there. So.
It was maybe like a month ago. My mom was on the boat with us. Was it? I don't know if it was this season or it might have actually been last season. And she's like, why am I not jumping in with you guys? She's like, yeah, you're going to get wet and you have to deal with wet hair and it's a little bit chilly. And she's like, every time I jump in, this feels amazing. It's just like something about life is making me not want to do that. And she's like, I don't know why I feel like that. I'm going to jump in every time. And for me, I'm like, as soon as I can get in the water to level my day, that's really how it feels like for me. Like I just love it so much. Mm-hmm. It does something amazing to my nervous system. So
I was floating in a pool for about 4 hours yesterday.
Yeah.
It's heaven. Yeah. Heaven. We actually had a party for somebody leaving our networking group. And so it was like a networking event party in the pool. I'm like, I want to do that more often. We were all doing our thing and having our little one-on-ones, and it was great. So yeah.
Well, very good. So you guys it's probably a good time. Well, at the time flies when we're on here anyway, but good time to wrap up.
Yes.
So
here. Just want to say hi to Altoskoparinus. I know I just butchered the heck out of that.
Scoparinus?
Something like that.
Atlascoparinus.
Anus. She said anus. She did.
I said Uranus.
But cheers. Thanks for being here. We appreciate you. Thank you guys for being here so much. And just happy Canada Day to all our Canadian friends. They had their Canada Day their independence was yesterday. And it was saying Christy, our friend Christy down in the Bahamas, their Independence Day is, I think, next week. So independence for everyone. Thank you guys so much. But make sure you're hitting the thumbs up, the subscribes, all the things for us, and sharing, because we just love being here. And if you weren't here, we'd be here talking to ourselves. So, it's what it is.
We love that for you. We love that for all of us. Thanks for being here.
For all of us. All right, everybody. Have a safe holiday. We'll see you next week. See you.